Hi, this is a first in a series of videos about how to manage YouTube channel. So I thought we'd just go over some very basics about YouTube to start with. You're probably familiar with most, if not all of this anyway. Okay, YouTube is a Google property. Google bought it up a number of years ago, and so it's very well integrated with their other applications. If you would go to Google, note I am not signed into an account here. You go to the waffle and you'll see that there's a YouTube link right there. Alternately, YouTube is very easy to get to. It's just youtube.com. Again, you'll note that I am not signed in. And it's just going to make suggestions here as to videos and things that I might like to watch. Now, YouTube will keep a browser history of what you actually search for and what you actually watch. You can control that, and we'll look at that in a minute. But if you sign in, it gets a more comprehensive kind of history of what you're doing. And purpose of this is so it can suggest things that you might be more interested in, etc. But you have control over how much of that history it keeps. Okay, basic layout is the videos. Sometimes there'll be an ad at the top that you can close, but suggested videos are laid out here. Sometimes you're put in categories. This is a trending category, so things that are very popular right now, COVID-19 news, etc. Okay, there's a menu on the left. We're currently on home. Now notice that there are also some suggested topics up here, like what if I wanted to search New Age music? Well, it's convenient little link there, and now it's just done a search for me for New Age music. And these will change over time. Baking, these types of things will change, but some of the more popular things will generally be there. Now, if I click on home, all that's really doing is returning me to this all, or this combination of different suggested videos. Okay, so on the screen, you'll see some of the newer stuff, some of the more popular stuff. Okay, next link is trending. That's basically just going to show you the things that are very popular now, what people are watching, what seems to be maybe going viral or at least getting a lot of attention. Third category is subscriptions. Now, YouTube organizes their material in something called channels. And if you have an account, you automatically have a channel. You can create multiple channels with one login. And someone can subscribe to those channels. So if you're putting videos about a certain topic in a place and someone finds them valuable, they can subscribe to your channel. It's just a quick way to get back to your stuff. Now, alternately, you can subscribe to other people's channels. So if you find things you find very useful and you find a particular creator who's making things that you're interested in, then you subscribe to their channel and you can use this button to um, see their more recent posts and keep track of what's going on. There's a library section. Certain things you can do in YouTube, like you can mark something to watch later or to put on a playlist, etc. So mark certain things you want to keep track of and they'd be in your library. And then there's a history button. So if you're not logged in, the history button is right down here at the bottom. And you can see you have a couple of options here. Has to do with your watch history, and you can clear it. So things that you've seen recently, I'm just going to clear those out so they're not in my history. YouTube is not going to use them anymore to make suggestions. I can also pause my watch history. So tell it not to keep track of what I'm doing anymore. The other category you can control is your search history. So what you put in this particular box. I can clear my history and I can pause my history. If I decide that I want to unpause them and let it start collecting information again, maybe I like the fact that it makes good suggestions for me after I've been using it for a little while, I can just, click on those again and I can turn them back on. It's up to me. Okay, the other major control is up in the left. It's called a waffle, or not the waffle, I'm sorry, the hamburger, 3 lines. You click on it. Notice that the whole top section here is just really a repeat of what we've already seen on the visible menu. It's home, trending, subscriptions, library, history, and a sign-in button, which is located over here on the right, but also in this menu. Okay, best of YouTube. So things that are most popular, etc. in very popular categories. You could click on one of these and say, oh, I'm interested in sports. Let me see. And then it's going to have these videos that it thinks you might be interested in particular if you're interested in sports. It can also let you browse channels. So we talked about channels a few minutes ago, and it's going to show you some categories. Beauty and fashion is a huge topic on the internet. Lots of very successful channels. Here's one with 342,000 subscribers. Here's one with 8.16 million subscribers, etc. Not uncommon to have, 4.87 million subscribers. It's not uncommon to have high numbers in these categories. So you could use this as a way if you had a particular interest. Oh, I'm interested in music. Let me just look through here. Here I'm interested in Bruno Mars. I could subscribe right here to the channel, but I probably wouldn't do that. Probably want to see what it's like first. So I click on it. It brings me to his channel. Notice for later reference, he's got this nice piece of art up at the top and also some links here on the bar. So we're going to learn how to do that a little later. He's got a featured video here. And by the way, you can set this up so that this video is one video for people who haven't subscribed. And that's generally something that says, hey, this is my channel. This is the type of stuff I do. Please subscribe. And if someone has subscribed, then they don't want to see that anymore. So you can just put another video, maybe your freshest, newest, most exciting video there. Okay, and then you can see that he's got all sorts of other information on here. So if I decide that I like this, I can hit the subscribe button over here. Okay, comes a certain point you're really going to want to sign in if you want to use YouTube in that way. So I'm going to pause the video for a second, and then I am going to sign into an account so we can take a look at how that changes things just a little. Okay, so I have signed in. Doesn't look different right from the beginning. If I come up here to click on my main YouTube page, looks very, very similar. You'll notice some of the video suggestions might have changed. That could be based on my previous history. If I've allowed my history to be on them, that's very likely to be happening. Note here that this particular ad looks a little different than the others, and that's because or this video rather, is because it's an ad. Ads are going to be marked down here. So this is an advertisement. It's something somebody's paying to be shown to you. And while being logged in allows it to customize and present you with things that you might find interesting, it also allows the advertisers to target people who might be interested in their product. Okay, so be aware. One thing that you might note changes is this history button is no longer available down here. But if you come up to the hamburger, you'll see that it is still available through the menu there. So you can still come in here and you can still pause your history or clear your history or manage your settings, etc. There's also some additional features, like if you tend to comment on videos or do some other things. Okay, so I'll come back home here for a second. Okay, let's take a look at things in action. If I find some videos that I like, perhaps I'm looking through and I don't have time right now to watch the video, but I see something I want to come back to. So here's something with Joe Biden. So I put my mouse over it. I'm going to get this little clock, and this allows me to put it on a list called Watch Later. I'll put that on Watch Later, and I'll put this Minecraft on Watch Later as well. Okay. If I come back tomorrow and I want to see those things, I can come into my library and you'll see that there's this Watch Later list right here. And I can pick any of these videos now and, I've saved them. I haven't lost them. And I don't have to look them up. I don't have to remember them. They're just there. Another thing that I can do is I can use the search bar. Let's just say I'm interested in linear algebra for some reason. Okay, and I come across, I'm looking through here and I like to just kind of peruse and find a couple of things that I might like to watch, just in a little while, but I don't want to just pick one and watch it. I want to see what's available to me. So this one looks interesting. Well, that's 11 hours, so no. This one looks interesting to me. So I'm going to click this little list at the bottom and add it to a queue. Okay, the queue pops up in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to say, this one looks interesting too. So let me add that to the queue. How long was that? Probably too long. And this one is, oh, this one is a playlist. This one is 12 minutes long. I want to add that to the queue as well. Okay, I've added 3 to the queue. It tells me right down here, if I want to see those, I can click this up arrow and it can show me the 3 that are in the queue. I can also change my mind. I can mouse over any of these and just hit the trash can to remove them. I can also pop those out in this expand window and it goes to a more typical YouTube screen, and it just made a little temporary playlist for me. So if I start this video, and I'm going to have to wait a second until the ad plays, and it's going to run through this video as normal. I'm going to jump to the end using the bar here. And once that finishes, it's just going to pop right into the next video and start that up. Of course, it's going to start with an ad again. And that's a longer ad, so we're not going to watch it. But you can see how that works. And if I don't want one of these, I can just remove it from my list, etc. Here, I'm going to clear my queue altogether. Okay, so those are just a couple of simple ways to keep track of your videos, to organize them for yourself, to either put them on a watch later list or to put them on a queue. So you can watch them in order, you can kind of organize yourself. Okay, let's go to subscriptions now. Let's say that I come into this Essence of Algebra and I click on it and I watch the video and I really like the way that's put together. And so I come down here and I look at the channel. The channel is called 3 Blue 1 Brown and it's got 3.53 million subscribers, so it's pretty popular. I'm going to click on that link and this will bring me into the person's channel. And I can poke around in here. I can see if there's other things that I like or need. And if this becomes something that I think is really valuable to me and I want to revisit this particular person's channel frequently, I can just hit the subscribe button over here. Now it will appear under subscriptions, and when I click subscriptions, it'll show the most recent uploads up at top, which there are quite a few, and then older ones down below. If I've got more than one subscription, it will filter everything into here for me. So it's a way to keep track of basically the people I'm following on YouTube. Okay, it would be like following someone on Twitter or something. You're going to get their stuff here. Okay, and the last thing I want to look at is something called playlists. So we're still here in are we still here in linear algebra? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're still here in linear algebra, and a lot of playlists. So I find this video that I want to watch or that I like, and I can do a couple of things. I can come here and I can say save it to a playlist here, add it to my queue here. This is another way to do it. Save to your watch list. Generally, I wouldn't do that from this screen because I haven't previewed it. I don't know if it's any good yet. So I come in, I wait till the ad plays, and I decide that I like it. And I just want to add this particular video, not the whole channel, but this particular video to something called a playlist. So simply come to the save option here. When I open it up, you can see that there's one option called watch later. We know how that works, but I want to create a playlist. So I want to put a series of related videos into a group that either I can watch later or that I can make available to other people. It's like a list. So I'm going to create a new playlist. I'll just call it linear algebra. And right now it's marked as private. That means I can look at it, but other people can't. So I am going to make it public. By the way, the difference between public and unlisted is someone with a link can see an unlisted, but they can't search for it. But if I make it public, it's wide open, and there's no reason not to make this wide open. So now that's been added to a playlist. And if I come back and do another search and find another video, notice that this time when I click save, my playlist is available here. And I can create as many playlists as I like. As a matter of fact, here, let me create one called mathematics. That's a little general. But I could even come in here and save it to both. Okay, so this video is now both on a mathematics list and on a linear algebra list. There's no save button. I just have to close this out. And let me come back. And this one I'll just put on the mathematics list, say. Okay, now to see them, you can come to your hamburger menu here and you can see that those playlists start to appear in your menu. So you've always got this watch later, whether you've added anything to it or not, but you've also got a way to get to your linear algebra playlist right here, or to your mathematics playlist right here. And also, if you happen to have liked any video, so you've seen somebody else's video and you gave them a thumbs up, you clicked on that, you can see those here. You'll also see, we'll check later when you get into uploading videos, you can see your videos right here. So anything that you own or you've created. So those are the basics, just basically the way the whole system works. And then we're going to be looking at in future videos how to create your own channel and how to organize your information for other people to access.